My name is Rex Ellis, and today I'll be talking to you about a couple things. So, why music labels should be dismantled, because the way they control their artists through deceiving contracts and hidden clauses. So, we will look into the history of labels, some feuds, and a couple of independent artists, and a way any local artist or you can distribute, produce without having a label. And yeah, so the first record label company was called the Edison Speaking Phonograph Company, which was created in 1878. Uh, Later became the Columbia record label, which is more notable. And I found this at recordindustry.com from Alex Cosper. To continue, first record contract came in 1904 from the Victor Talking Machine Company, which started with $4,000 per song, plus 26 to 40% percent on whatever sale was recorded. And then 30s and 50s artists started to get 3%, 3 to 5% on 90% of the sales, which is all right, but not the best. And then the 70s, the music started becoming bigger and bigger, and for example, one early hip hop deal exchanged $10,000 recoupable for a single and 50% of the publishing rights. And a super folk artist also signed a 5-year, 10-album deal with $425 per project, which is pretty good at this time, not even gonna lie. However, it all changed in the 80s when the CD came to life from Sony and Philips. This gave birth to the hidden contract clauses. However, the CD reign was very short. In the 90s, iTunes and Napster came to be. People were now downloading music for free, or like $1 a song instead of paying about $10 for a whole album CD and had to get in your car and get it yourself. This new technology meant new deal structures. For example, endorsements were now 15 to 30% of the deal, touring 10 to 30, merchandise was now 20 to 50%, and sync, which is technology, was 15 to 40%. So yeah, and ever since then, the music business has gone really corrupt.
So one of the most notable feuds between record labels and artists was Kesha and her producer Dr. Luke, who had his own label with Sony, but like in his own, like, I guess you would say, his own thing. So what happened? Supposedly one night, Dr. Luke came and sexually assaulted Kesha in her room. So in 2014, Kesha filed a lawsuit for sexual assault, harassment, and gender violence, civil harassment, and violation of unfair business laws. But sadly, there was no evidence to support her assertion that the agreements were not entered into freely or voluntarily as a result of arm's length negotiation. And Sony would not terminate the contract because she entered the agreements with Dr. Luke's company called Cas Money, which is not Sony's problem. This created the Free Kesha movement. A bunch of people hopped on this. Taylor Swift said donated $250,000. Adele dedicated her Brit Award for Best Female Solo Artist, saying, quoting, "I'd just like to take a quick moment to publicly thank my management and my record label for embracing the fact that I am a woman and be encouraged by it," which throws major shade at the whole Dr. Luke versus Kesha movement. But sadly, there's not enough evidence for Kesha to win this case. So in February 2020, she lost the case because the judge says she cannot make a final decision on the report because, quoting, Kesha and Galwell have very different accounts about what happened on the night at the issue, end quote. The judge writes, quote, court cannot decide as a matter of law on papers and without any assessment of credibility who should be believed. So it's just crazy to me that this feud lasted 6 years and still could not find enough evidence for Kesha to condemn Dr. Luke. So another notable feud between record labels and artists was Prince. So Prince in 1992 signed a record deal worth $100 million with Warner Bros., but in the contract it said he couldn't release any other music, and he also wanted to have the original master tapes for his albums, which they would not allow. So he countered this by appearing in public with the word slave written across his forehead, and changed his name to an unpronounceable symbol, which meant everyone called him the artist formerly known as Prince. Even said in the contract saying, quote, record contracts are just like, I'm going to say the word, slavery. He continues saying, I would tell any young artist, do not sign. So after this, he releases a new album through the internet, and he left Warner Bros. Another notable feud was Michael Jackson and Sony. So Michael Jackson felt that Sony did not do enough to promote his 2001 album Invincible. So in 2002, he accused his record label of racism, saying, quoting, the record companies really, really do conspire against the artists. They steal, they cheat, they do everything they can, and, quote, especially against the black artists. So after hearing all these feuds, you would think, like, why would I want to join a record company if they're just going to sell me out later on and down the road? So that's exactly what Chance the Rapper did. He was an independent rapper from Chicago, dropped out of school, dropped 10-day acid rap coloring book, 7 Grammy noms while being independent, having a good manager, which is very important, named Pat Corcoran, and it just shows that all you need is a heart, ambition, and your city behind you. So you really do not need a record label to produce and be big in the world, as you saw with, for instance, with Chance. So there would be a lot of options for instead of record labels. So there's this one thing called I did some research called e-music. It's been around since 1998, but now you can release your music, can see who's listened to it, alter it wherever, and you earn 60% of the income, and the website and the company earn the other 40%. But if you make it bigger or become a more notable name, it's a 70 to 30% difference, which is a lot better. Would make record labels obsolete, which is definitely a thing that should happen at least one day. So to conclude, today anyone can release their music now through independent music distributors, and now you can collect revenue right away or royalties from the sales and streams. Shout out Spotify, SoundCloud, all of them. And the labels, they're just there to benefit off you. And if you stop giving them income, they will drop you. Just business. So what I'm saying is, be independent, be yourself, surround yourself with people you want to be with who have the same goal as you, and try to make it as far as you can, whatever it is. For this instance, it's music. But yeah, hope y'all enjoyed this speech, and if you have any questions, let me know.